After quietly lying on the ground for more than an hour, Kai Young stood up, for he had just used up all his strength. An hour before, Kai Young felt it was like a dream. He really could not believe this was true. Quietly he punched himself and felt the pain. In the end, what history does this black book have? He muttered to himself in helplessness. Waiting until his heart stopped beating, he suddenly found himself somewhat different from before. For he couldn't eat 3 fulfilling meals a day, and every 5 days he would suffer beatings. Thus his body bones are weak, but now he clearly perceived that his bones were full of vitality. A surge of energy, filled with warmth, slowly circulated inside and outside his body. Moving slightly, the bones burst out a crystal-clear sound, making it seem like a melody being played. And he who was hurt today couldn't feel the pain anymore. Aware of this, Kai Young quickly rolled up his sleeves and opened his clothes. Looking closely, he found that his body no longer had any bruises and injuries. They had actually all disappeared, even those old wounds were healed. Feeling as unblemished as a newborn baby. Rubbing the places that previously held wounds, dead skin fell. This revealed the new tender skin underneath, like a baby's but far more healthier. He swallowed down a cold lump, thinking of that golden skeleton in his body had such a strong recovery ability. Then feeling his own strength and found that he was still at the tempered body 3rd stage with no change. This discovery somewhat made him a little disappointed. Rivers and illusions, with secrets known only to insiders, this type of story Kai Young heard much during his childhood. He knew in world there are many men eligible to jump past the Dragon Gate, becoming powerful and famous. But after all, it's just a story. How many people can really be happy and gain such luck and results in this world? Those senior experts with greater strength, the more I could not bear to lower themselves with earth and buried. Always finding inheritor before death. I want to jump off a cliff, drill a cave and encounter events, such unlikely things will happen? But the current problem had happened to him. That black must have great background, and that old golden skeleton must be extraordinary. This can be said as his good fortune. It could also be said as fate. The 4 sentences on the Black Book's first page: proud golden body, rules the fence, indomitable spirit, will it descend? If he didn't pick up the Black Book, but another picked it up, they too will treat it was garbage. Unable to prise open like Mount Tai. Precisely because he picked it up and used it as a pillow for a year, it felt his body's unyielding and tough nature. Unlocking the secret Black Book today. In other words, this thing really is his first encounter, but it's the first achievement that he obtained through his own hands. Thought of this, Kai Young sudden burst comfortable, is called the BMW with a good saddle, beauty gifts hero. That Black Book. Thinking of it suddenly, this book that was his pillow for over a year. He wasn't anxious to find out what it was nor how he found it. Between being anxious and somewhat weakened in the body, the Black Book abruptly appeared in front of Kai Young and snapped shut, falling to the ground. He was stunned. Picking up the book, he furrowed his eyebrows while thinking hard. Struck by with an idea, a move from his hands, the book disappeared. And a further move made it appear again. This scene was like a magic trick. One could see that Kai Young's face was very solemn, because he truly felt that the Black Book could escape into his body with a single thought. This Black Book possibly be made from a soul stone. After saying it, he nearly gave himself a fright. A soul stone. This was considered a legendary gem. Only when hundreds of millions of ghosts gather in the abyss and with the help of vast amounts of human vitality will it start to form. Rumor has it that this is how it was formed. Inside the Blackstone, with misery of 100 million lives, the living cannot enter, and green grass can't think to grow. Those words were somewhat exaggerated. But for a soulstone about 3.5 centimeters x 3.5 centimeters to form, how many lives must be taken? The formation of this mythical rock was really cruel and bloody. What every life near it during its creation will be dead within milliseconds. Also the formation time is unimaginable, it could that up to a millennium or even 10 millenniums. Putting the formation process aside, this soulstone can be considered a supreme treasure. That is because it has a very unique ability, for it can be melded with one's body and also open up a dimension. This space is quite flexible, storing things will be no hassle. Even though Kai Yang is only a trial disciple, a humble position, his experiences were not lacking. Not to mention, the story of the legendary Soul Stone has been around more many years, anyone would know the story. When he just obtained this black book, he didn't think about this. Thinking about how the books went into his body, he thought about how the golden skeleton came out from the book. How could he not recognize the book's material? He immediately started sweating. Soul stones were the things of legends, long extinct in the world. He didn't think that he will be able to encounter one, let alone such a large one. The legends only talked about 3.5 centimeters x 3.5 centimeters sized soul stones, for it was only found that large. Even at that size, it was priceless. But the only in front of him was somehow made into a black book that was 30 by 7 centimeters. Its value was immeasurable. If this news were to spread out, even if it's the entire Han dynasty, not mention a mere martial school, they will probably be crushed overnight to obtain it. Kai Yang couldn't help but feel his hands heat up. This heart had not forgotten the terror, but luckily it could be taken into his body. Otherwise he would be in great danger. His body hiding this treasure, he swiftly escaped back into his hut. He dared not to be carelessly, while his heart beated madly. He was becoming more and more excited, whilst also becoming more and more uneasy. His strength was currently too low, so how could he guard this treasure? Even though the black book could be taken into his body, eliminating chances of being discovered. This didn't lessen the worry in his heart. Only practice, only the strong will be able to protect what is theirs. Thinking about what happened 3 years ago, Kai Yang's eyes gradually calmed down. All on his, without any support he came to this school. What is not for practice and strength? Even though he obtained this book, he took it into his hands. On the first page was the proud golden body. Even though he didn't know what use it had, it couldn't be useless. This book also had so many pages, it couldn't only possess this one golden body.